Okay, welcome everyone. Radio, TV, film, 50 years. Tonight is actually my first time in this building, so what does everybody think of the new digs here at UW Oshkosh? Pretty amazing. Now, before I really get into talking about the past 50 years and the next 50 years and everything, I do want to thank some people, and I want to start with the alumni. A lot of you have traveled from far and made some sacrifices to be here tonight, but looking around, I mean, what an incredible turnout, so thank you for that. At this time, I'd also like the radio, TV, film faculty and staff, all faculty and staff, current and former staff, to please stand up so that we can thank you for your dedication. It is a great honor to have all of you here tonight. Thank you. Next, I'd like to thank, we're also greatly honored to be joined by the Snyder family tonight. And does Irene Snyder know how to light up a room or what? And last, and certainly not least, there was a lot of people who put a lot of time and effort into making this happen tonight and over the course of the entire weekend. And so we thank everyone for that, but there's one person I want to point out. It's someone that a lot of the alumni have gotten to know, and I kind of, believe that some of you are here to just hang out with her, which is okay. That's fine because of all the sacrifice and hard work and dedication that she's put into making this successful. And so if everybody can please give a round of applause. And where's Claire right now? So a big round of applause for Claire. Claire Armstrong. There she is. Just do her a favor and don't bother her for a few days, okay? She just... Yes, Claire's husband thanks you too. So here we are, 50 years, and we're looking back at 50 years. And, one big thing I want to say about, where's radio, TV, film at now compared to 50 years ago is that radio, TV, film, of course, being, media production, has gone through a lot of changes. And how many of you went on the tour today? So you're able to go through and you saw all the different upgrades and everything that we've done. So we've done a lot of upgrades with equipment and facilities and curriculum and, of course, faculty and staff. There's just been a lot of change, of course, because it's been 50 years. But one thing that I'm really proud to say, from the bottom of my heart is that, one thing that remains the same is Doc's vision. When he started this program, and the one word that I want to use is access. Unprecedented access to faculty and staff. Faculty and staff that really take their time to get to know each one of us. Okay, and being a former alum myself, 94, this was the place that so many of us in here found ourselves. Okay, and we couldn't find ourselves without being challenged and without being given the tools and access to equipment and facilities to dream and realize. And that's something that remains the same from the day that Doc Snyder opened the doors of radio, TV, film. And I'm so honored to be able to say this too, especially to Irene, is that radio, TV, film now still maintains that vision, and that's something we're very proud of. So thank you. And so here we are, okay? We're looking back and celebrating 50 years, and now we're going to try to figure out what are we going to do for the next 50 years? And so we can't do this without you. And so I think that this is a very important night and a very important time in the history of what radio, TV, film is. And so, you know, we're going to be asking everyone at some point to consider this and to think about how you can help us look forward to the next 50 years. So thank you again for everyone for coming out tonight. All right. Next thing I want to do, I'm going to be introducing the next speaker, and I think that we have some stills that we're going to show. So I want to give a little background about Dean Coker. I knew him before he actually became dean. I had cast him in one of my films, actually two of my films, before he moved into the office of the dean. And, you know, all I knew him before he became dean was an actor. And, you know, like any other actor, they have their demands. They're always kind of prima donnas, you know, the trailer, chilled shrimp, a monkey for whatever reason. I'm still trying to figure that out. It got a little disturbing at times, but no, I'm joking about all that stuff. But I got a chance to work with John Coker just in the field, and I put him through some difficult situations. So what stills do we have up right now? Because I know I sent one, and okay, so there he is in overalls. And it's one thing that I wish that he wore overalls every day because it plays. I mean, he should just be wearing it every day. And there are pockets for all the things that you need for meetings and running the college. I mean, you can stuff him into those pockets. And so I got a chance to work with him, and I put him in overalls, stuck him in the middle of the field. I had him in for most of the day inside a dairy farm with all cows in the room doing their thing. And at one point, I'm just sitting there, it's just like, okay, maybe this wasn't the best move. Yep, there he is, wide shot. There you go, John Coker in overalls. It plays, right? I mean, it works, right? So if at some point, you know, later this evening, everybody can just comment on this and let them know, yes, stick with the overalls. It works very well. Okay. But all joking aside, we wouldn't be able to be where we are today without Dean Coker. He's been a champion for radio, TV, film. He's been greatly supportive, and in a way, we kind of pretend that, yes, he's the dean of College of Letters and Science, but we like to think that, yeah, but he's just really working with us. He doesn't really care about the other programs and departments and all that stuff. He just wants to work with us. And that's what it feels like. But we know, I mean, and everyone on this campus knows that of his dedication and how he works with everyone else, but that's the way that he makes us feel. He makes us feel that I care very much about where you're going and what you're doing and your identity, your mission, your philosophy, and everything like that. And so I'm greatly honored, you know, to present Dean Coker, a great supporter and a great friend of radio, TV, film.
Oh boy. Thank you so much, Troy. But I really want to welcome everyone here tonight, all the alumni, all the faculty and staff, and the retired faculty, and absolutely a special welcome to you, Irene. It's been great to get to know you over the years. And I think what Troy said about access is just perfect, because as I am a mathematician and I have responsibilities in the dean's office, it's been such a wonderful, welcoming program that someone like me can walk over and audition for films and participate in student films and participate in the student theater productions here on campus. And so it's just been a wonderful outlet for me, and I think that's really what a university is all about, that we can prepare people for careers and professions, but we can also develop the whole person. So I guess I have to thank radio, TV, film for letting me develop my whole person. I did want to tell you that my TV experience goes way back before Troy. In 1970, I had the opportunity, I landed the role of altar boy number 2 in a WITI TV6 in Milwaukee broadcast of Mass for Shut-ins. So, I remember my mother and I getting up at 5:30 a.m. to watch the broadcast, and she was so impressed of that close-up of me receiving communion, and I didn't have to go to church that day. 20 years later, I ended up on this campus, and some students who didn't know me cast me in D-, a crime drama in 1991 or 1992. I impressed them so much they made sure my character was killed off after the first episode. But truly, I've had the pleasure to be involved with a number of faculty and students as part of the radio, TV, film program. And as I said, it's been a great pleasure to get to know them all. The College of Letters and Science is so proud of the radio, TV, film program. It makes the university and it makes the College of Letters and Science distinct. And I am proud that we have and support such a program. I look forward to a program with unprecedented growth, and I really can't imagine what we will accomplish in the future. Student experiences related to radio, TV, film, both in and outside of the classroom, are ones that have a problem-solving focus and involve faculty and staff who sincerely care about student success. Our students are expected to grow as thinkers in a supported atmosphere of questioning, challenging, and reflecting. Our program lays the foundation to help students with career goals, but we also encourage students to study broadly, to consider their place in a diverse democratic society and world community, to have a greater appreciation for the fine and performing arts, and to develop an ethical and moral sensibility. We provide a comprehensive liberal arts education that empowers individuals with broad knowledge and transferable skills and a strong sense of values, ethics, and civic engagement. It is characterized by challenging encounters with important issues, and it leads to successful, remunerative careers in a wide array of professions with a strong likelihood of achieving long-term professional success both inside and outside the radio, TV, film industry. In these days of shrinking resources and belt-tightening, I am so pleased that we have such strong and committed alumni to assist in the program in so many ways. A program like this needs sophisticated equipment, but we also need internships and scholarships. Specifically, I am so proud to announce that due to strong faculty, staff, alumni collaboration, the first offering of the Los Angeles Connection Engagement Tour will take place this January 2015. Almost 15 of our students will have the opportunity to network with and learn from broadcast professionals on topics including development and writing, casting, production, and post-production and marketing. I thank all of the alumni in this room who have contributed in so many ways, and I look forward to your continuing support and participation in our program. And on that note, I would like to introduce one of our alums who was instrumental in putting that Los Angeles Connection program together, and that's Kevin Wernberg. Kevin is currently executive producing a new stunt-based pilot for Fox entitled Bullseye, while prepping for the 8th season of the ABC summer hit show Wipeout. During his tenure on Wipeout, he was also the co-executive producer on ABC's 101 Ways to Leave a Game show and the reboot of Fear Factor 2.0 for NBC. Kevin worked on the original Fear Factor series, which was a hit NBC show for 6 seasons and was by the time the show ended in 2006. Over the years, Kevin has worked on many different television shows in Los Angeles, which range from Unsolved Mysteries to later with Greg Kinnear, working in multiple areas of television from the art department to lighting, grip, and electric. He finally determined production was the best fit and has worked in production since the late 1990s. He currently resides in Burbank, California with his wife, Erin, who is the Senior Vice President and Head of Comedy Development Department for Warner Brothers Television, and his two sons, Charlie and Henry. Kevin is also a member of the Country School Board of Governors. Along with being on a school board, Kevin is president of the Los Angeles chapter of JDRF in honor of his son, Charlie, who has type 1 diabetes. And the reason I mention that is I am so happy because Kevin truly embodies the mission of the university and the College of Letters and Science to prepare students for careers, but also to be responsible citizens who understand and contribute to the world in which they live. So welcome, Kevin.
Thank you, Dean Coker. Brad, you're right, there is no toe kick on this podium. I also, along with Troy and the Dean, I want to thank all the volunteers and staff that helped put this program tonight. And all special thank you for Claire, because she got a lot of phone calls from me, and some of those are, fun to take and some aren't. But anyways, Claire's awesome. So I wanted to get up here and, of course, talk about the first time that Doc Snyder called WRST while I was doing my classical DJ shift as a freshman. But I'm going to actually talk to you about the radio TV film program and its relationship to alumni and industry. Troy, Dean Coker, they mentioned about the alumni, and that's the key to this program, in my opinion. But I'm very proud to have received my education here. I mean, it's there doesn't probably a day go by that my staff, my boss on Wipeout, he went to U.S. And I got to tell you, he's probably really sick of hearing about Oshkosh because it doesn't. When we bring interns onto the show now, I literally we try not to tell him who what school they actually went to. Usually he figures it out though. But as the dean mentioned, I live and work in Los Angeles, where there's a plethora of film schools, and film and television, and many of them have a large alumni presence, within the industry. And when I moved to LA in 1993. There were only a few Oshkosh alumni that I was aware about there. But now there's at least 40 that I'm aware of, and I'm sure there's more. But the reason I'm aware of that group is because over the years I've hosted somewhere around 20 interns from the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh, and at one time we took a group picture in front of the big balls for Wipeout, and we had 11 alumni working on my show. I've also helped a few graduates, as soon as they came out of school, literally have jobs waiting to LA. And I think there's one right now that I'm working on trying to have her a job in January, so when she comes out. I couldn't be more, as I said, I couldn't be more proud to have Oshkosh students, walk through my doors. And, I knew that they might be a little green, Oshkosh clearly is not Hollywood or New York or Atlanta or whatnot. But the one thing I knew is they had the schooling to back it up. I knew that they would work hard, and I knew they wouldn't let me down. I will say, after all these years of having Oshkosh alumni work on my shows from Fear Factor to Wipeout and so forth, I've never had to fire anybody that went to Oshkosh. That's actually, you have no idea how many people I have fired. I know in this room there's a lot of people that have done the same thing, and but as a group, I actually think that we need to do more for our fellow alumni. You know, that's why I'm up here talking about this. You know, internships are the keys to students becoming, in my opinion, internships are the key to students becoming professionals. When they took the videotape out here, or videotaping, I said one word about the recommendation, that's internships. You know, they're the key here in Wisconsin area, this region. They're the key in Los Angeles, they're key anywhere in Chicago. They open up that door. You know, internships are a great way for all the students to meet professionals in our industry. But another way to help the RTF students and the program grow is to educate the students directly in their professional community. Now, I was going to announce the LA trip, but Dean Coker, you know, stole my fire. But you know, there's a few people, along with myself, and now that I named their names in this room, they're definitely going to have to help me set this up for January. Ralph Berge, back there in the corner. Brad Carr over here, and Deb Carr. Brenda Lau, where's Brenda? Brenda's right there hiding behind Brad. Tom Pistol sitting next to Brad. And I know that Chris Braun is right over there. I'm going to hit you up too, so don't. And any other LA alum that may be in the room that I'm not aware of, you know, we're going to need your help. You know, as the dean mentioned, you know, it's the first ever, as far as I know, and my research going through Troy, it's the first ever 3-credit like study away course, and you know we're doing this in January. This class is going to give students opportunities to meet. It's going to be great. They're going to be able to meet, experience, learn from industry professionals in LA over a 2-week period, and they're going to, you know, many of the larger film and television schools in the United States, like Ithaca. I was going to bring my camera up here and take a picture because I have a competition on my show because there's a couple people who went to Ithaca, and we're always competing on who has the more grads, Ithaca or Oshkosh. But it's usually Oshkosh. But you know, we're going to be up there with, you know, schools like Ithaca and Emerson who do these similar classes, you know, around the country, and now Oshkosh has, you know, the same class. I think that's a huge step for the program. You know, the course is going to allow students, you know, one-on-one interaction with writers, producers, directors, actors, agents, you know, you name it, whatever we can, you know, muscle up. I'm also, now this is the time where I tell my wife, who's going to help me a great deal with this, even though it's pilot season in January. So it should be an interesting household, and I might be doing 2 shows in January. So it should be fun. We'll see if I stay married past this spring. Hi, honey. And by the way, you know, this course, I think it, you know, we're talking about LA, but I think, you know, I know there's a table over there with a bunch of Atlanta people. You know, no reason it can't be Atlanta, Chicago, New York in the future. I know that Justine Stokes is, you know, probably, you know, she's only going to probably do it this one time because she's going to have to babysit 14 kids. But, you know, maybe we'll talk her into doing it again, or Troy, or whoever. You know, you're hearing up here tonight, the one thing you can tell is, you know, it's an exciting time for this program. I think it's leading the way in the Midwest in regard to the film and TV schools in this area. And, you know, it's putting us right up there with the program, the facilities, with other top schools, you know, even around the country. And then you know, as they mentioned today, you know, I walked through the program. I didn't make it up to WRST, but I mean, the new post-production lab, I mean, I didn't even have computers when, you know, I was in school. But the new lighting system, the remote system that they're using tonight to do, you know, to do this, I mean, versus that blue pickup truck and the crappy equipment. I mean, you know, I mean, come on. You know, this program's come a long way, but, you know, it's right up there with other schools around the country. You know, I'm hoping someday it'll be up there with the USCs, the UCLAs, the NYUs, where, you know, Troy went, you know, right, Troy? We can, you know, shouldn't be a problem, right? Dean, chancellor's here, you know, the new chancellor. So, but, you know, the biggest thing about it is the one reason those schools, though, are so successful is because of the alumni. The alumni are so directly involved with those schools, being guest speakers and, you know, guest educators and hosting internships and, you know, being on, you know, committees within those schools, philanthropically, you know. And we're not going to pass the hat, but, you know, that's a big part of it too. We're in the, you know, the state school, and that's not really a sort of a you know, something that's sort of, you know, talked about when we're here. And I'm going to let somebody else get into that deeper later. But, the big thing about it is it's an inspiring time for us here at the program. And I hope everybody's just as thrilled as I am, because I honestly couldn't be more proud. Actually gets me choked up. I couldn't be more proud to be involved with this, with the RTF staff. There's some great people. There were great people back when I was here. There's great people now. Dean Coker and his team. Dean, I met with him last year. It was about a year ago that we met and we talked about the LA trip. And, here it is. It's happening basically a year and a half later. And I think that's, without his support of the major, that would not be happening. Also, the students. You guys, I don't know if you know this, but the kids that are walking around here, a lot of them, I believe most of them, are the ones going to LA. And you see some fundraising aspects here tonight, but that's to help them out, pay for the trip. It's costing them $3,000 each to get out there. So if anybody's, keep that in mind later on when Trevi's giving her speech. Anyways, no matter what, the program needs our help to see this program, grow and continue to succeed. And I hope you'll all help me. All right. So thank you very much.
It meant fun. It meant excitement.
Place for me to work with a lot of people who share the same passions as I did.
Tech-oriented people, creative people, and very business-oriented people all thrown into one major.
Synergy also between students that they felt that they had a common goal working toward a career.
The ability to do lots of different things and have the hands-on exposure to whatever it was you were interested in.
I guess the thing it means most to me is just a huge opportunity.
That experience kind of set me up for what the industry has become.
You learn so much more that's outside of RTF.
I wouldn't be the person that I am today without it.
His philosophy really was you learn by hands-on, you learn by doing. And in radio, TV, film, there's certainly a lot of hands-on doing.
In 1964, Dr. Robert Doc Snyder came to what was then Wisconsin State University Oshkosh to start a program focusing on radio and television production. As he began to develop the new program's curriculum, Doc took steps to develop an educational radio station.
My first real good memory is helping Bob hang curtains in the old Fuller Goodman office.
I was afraid if you lit a match, poof, it's going up, But it was interesting to work out of there. You had to be quiet because you could hear it right through the rooms. It had a Gates, I think it was a Gates yard. It was a board like that.
The most memorable occasion was really the time we had to string the wire to Grudenhagen Hall and put the radio station on the air, and had at night, about midnight.
On April 20th, 1966, WRST, the radio station of the Titans, became the first FM station in Oshkosh, and went on the air with 10 watts at 88.1 on the dial.
Well, that old clock in the wall says it's just about time to get out of here. I want to thank you for staying tuned to me. I'm Bill Ruddard, and this is the Boss Beat Show.
You're listening to WRST FM, 88.1 megacycles from Oshkosh, Wisconsin. First in Titan Sports, bringing you all Titan football games, and we'll be bringing you all Titan basketball games.
6:30 and time for news.
From our WRST FM News and Sports Desk in the facilities of the Associated Press, it's time now for Update, a 30-minute comprehensive summary of the latest sports. Now for part one of Update, the latest news. Here with the headlines and stories is your reporter.
He knew probably as much about music as a lot of people ever will. He decided that he wanted to have a jazz program of his own. And so he started Jazz City. And that was, quote unquote, I guess, his baby.
Welcome to Jazz City. Hi, I'm Bob Snyder, your guide for this tour through the people and places who make up the marvelous city called Jazz.
I was doing my show one night, and actually he gave me a call. I had done a particular grouping of music, and he called up to tell me how nice it was. So I thought, well, that was pretty special of Doc to do that.
He was a stickler for pronouncing things correctly. And there's many a student who got the dreaded Doc call.
When I used to work at WRST, I did classical showcase. I had a music background, and he would still call me to tell me I was pronouncing composers incorrectly. But he would do it in such a nice way, and he was just a warm person and just very engaging in the classroom.
RTF's original television studios were located in the Clough Academic Building and provided educational programming for Clough classrooms, along with the first student-produced program, The Scene Today. It debuted in January 1969 and was prompted by campus tension and the lack of information in the aftermath of Black Friday.
The Scene Today, a concise 10-minute look at the people, places, and events that affect you, the student, at the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh.
Let's begin our tour on the second floor of the Social Science Building at the WSUO Television Studios. Here, students of the television workshop classes and the television direction class produced The Scene Today, a 10-minute news show seen hourly on the monitors throughout the building. Let's listen in as a news show is actually being produced.
Check your shading on 4, please. Okay, this is going to be a take, ready to roll and record VTR 5. Stand by to patch for on-the-air distribution. Tell the newscaster we've got him in 3 minutes.
With the growth of the program, WRST and the television studios were moved into the new Arts and Communications building. WRST applied to increase power to 9 watts in stereo. This request included moving WRST up the dial to 90.3 FM. With the new television studios and 2 new television staffers, production was expanded, including new student-produced television series. In 1974, television would connect with Time Warner Cable, providing original student programming throughout the Fox cities.
The American Issues Forum is a presentation of the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh.
The lateral step, or step turn, is a relatively new maneuver to most skiers. However, this technique has been employed by racers for many years.
This is William Conrad, better known as the private investigator Frank Cannon, on a CBS television series on Wednesday nights entitled Cannon. Mr. Cannon, how do you like playing a private investigator?
Well, that and pub crawling in Oshkosh are my 2 favorite pastimes.
Film was also an integral part of the RT. Doc's friendship with the great documentary filmmaker Per Lorentz resulted in Lorentz serving as a visiting lecturer on campus.
Early on, in the early years, the film component of radio TV film was powered by Bob Jacobs and Harris Lichty. Harris was the guy who taught history of film, and he created the International Film Series, which is still with us today. Bob taught the production courses, and his strength was in industry contacts.
Years ago, the Grand hosted just about every famous opera singer. Today, it's a movie. But each night, for the past 2 weeks after the show's end, filming of Exit Dying begins. From midnight to dawn, a crew of 110 shoot scenes for the 90-minute movie. Only 2 of the crew can be termed professional. One is the leading man, Henry Darrow, known for his roles in High Chaparral and Harry-O. The other is director Bob Jacobs, who formerly worked in Hollywood and is now a professor at UW-Oshkosh.
Other important thing about the 1990s was we created Film Society. And that was a way to take filmmaking education beyond the classroom. We wanted our students to be able to view films together, talk about films together, and make films together.
You know, the that I ever made, the Renoir theory, Kevin Wehrenberg was actually the cinematographer. And it was us going together and taking something that I had written and actually visualizing it and actually shooting and directing actors. And it was just something that was really eye-opening to me.
Kathy! Your sister's here. I knew you were a business genius, but I had no idea you were such an athlete.
You're still unsure, but what we want is who
In 1984, the television operation reached a new milestone when it took on the name Titan TV, adding national satellite programming to augment a full schedule of student production.
Good afternoon and welcome to This Week in Review. I'm Todd Slucci.
And I'm Mark Krieger.
My best memory is the This Week show, the camaraderie that we had. So we would meet at Claire's house, all the producers, and we'd work the show out, and it was something we did every week. And you became good friends with these people because so much, and it all seemed to always come together.
One of the things I was involved in was AE Row it was the Broadcast Honor Society back then. And that was a lot of fun. And one of the activities that we did to raise funds every year was we held a bowl. I had a great selling advertising.
5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ready, camera 3, take camera 3.
And hello everyone, I'm Patrick Moore. I'm an alumni of the University of Wisconsin Oshkosh, and we're here again for AT. This is the 3rd year in a row.
And the fun continues. We're at By Gosh Fest for the rest of the afternoon here. We're going to be here for another half hour or so, so stop on out.
You got to stop by. We got free that we're giving away.
Here is our opening kickoff. Peterson tees it up. We are underway.
What was Scooby-Doo's favorite snack? Kristen?
Snacks.
Sorry, say it again.
Scooby snacks.
Teamwork! There's no I in it.
We celebrate the extraordinary accomplishments achieved by our students. From the day Doc Snyder arrived to build this program, students have created an impressive and consistent track record of quality, award-winning productions.
With your 5:55 news update on 90.3 WRST, I'm Spencer Wagon. Republican presidential candidate and former Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich spoke at the Kolf Sports Center on the UW-Oshkosh campus this morning.
Seriously? Why are you so hard to find? And when did you get so fast?
Emma, what are you doing?
I had to find you. I have to talk to you.
Battlefield soldier. And there's a song about the battlefield soldier. And that's, when you hear that song, the battlefield soldier, that's who you're talking to.
Listen.
I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath, scared to rock the boat and make a mess. I got the eye of the tiger, dancing through the fire, 'cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar.
Our alumni have gone on to exciting, successful careers, never forgetting their radio, TV, film beginnings, always willing to share their knowledge and experiences with the next generation.
What I came through here with, either on the TV side, the radio side, or on the print side too, it's a good balance of different approaches to how you communicate to people.
Well, you learn the nuts and bolts for sure of how the radio station works, of how the TV station works, how to operate cameras. But it's really how you relate to other people.
It just gave me a whole different appreciation, even for things that I see in media right now.
The wealth of experience and the wealth of knowledge that I've gotten has helped me get a job, has helped me succeed in that job, has helped me go full time at that position.
All of the things that we are capable of doing here and have the ability to do, and that the faculty allows us to do. I just don't think that it would be the same if I had been anywhere else. Oshkosh is it.
As we move into the next 50 years, radio, TV, film will continue to adapt to the media environment, seeking ways to update and maintain professional facilities and cultivate opportunities that will allow them to gain a strong industry education, forging a path to their futures.
If a professor loves what he's doing, it shows in the way he teaches and the way his students produce. And I think that's a legacy and a tribute to my husband as a wonderful teacher.
college student dissatisfied with your present major? Or are you thinking about attending college because your job doesn't provide the excitement and adventure that you require in life? Well then, think about a career in the exciting world of radio and television. And it can start for you right now at the University of Wisconsin. Gosh.
This production is one in a series of single-concept instructional tapes produced by and for the Radio TV Film Department of the University of Wisconsin, Oshkosh.
Good evening. Special thanks to Claire Stokes, Director of Television Services, who executive produced this wonderful walk down memory lane. To Chancellor Levitt, Dean Coker, other administrators, the Snyder family, alumni, friends, students, and the absolutely fabulous staff and faculty of this award-winning radio TV film program, I am truly honored tonight to be here as the program celebrates its 50th anniversary, and I'm even more proud of all of the accomplishments we've made over the years. Before I introduce myself, I would like for you to meditate on a question that we've heard already a few times this evening, and that is, where would you be today if it were not for the radio TV film program here at UW Oshkosh? I'm Trevi McDonald, class of 1990. I am currently an assistant professor of broadcast and electronic journalism at UNC Chapel Hill, which is my other alma mater, my graduate school alma mater. And although I have spent many more years on the Carolina campus and as a Tar Heel and in the J School, I cherish and hold the radio TV film program here at UW Oshkosh much closer and much more dear to my heart. Because this program is truly the reason why I am where I am today. While I received constant encouragement from my parents and teachers who, like many of your parents and teachers, instilled in each of us that we could do and accomplish whatever we set our minds to, it was here in the radio TV film program that I was able to put the principles that led to my success into practice. So I'm going to go through a few of them, and the first was confidence building. And other people mentioned the call from Doc. I remember my first day, spring interim 1989, I decided I wanted to work at WRST, so I sat in with Don Stoner on his jazz shift, and I watched what he did, and I knew he was going to hang around to help me out, so I couldn't possibly mess up. Don stayed for about 15 minutes and then told me goodbye, and I was absolutely terrified. I was okay queuing up the records and playing them, but then when it was time for me to come on mic, I just panicked. About a half hour or so into the show, the phone rang, and it was Doc, who told me that I sounded great on radio, and that just really gave me a great deal of confidence. I learned from Ben Jarman the importance of learning the business, and he is actually the person who really inspired me because I thought he had such a cool job, and I said, I want to do what you do one day, and now I am doing it. I learned the importance of honing my writing skills from Doug and Judy. Because although formats change and technology advances, content is still king, and we need writers and good writers to produce content. I learned the importance of working together. Through WRST, Titan TV, and Film Society, we learned to be both team players and leaders. Also here in the radio TV film program, the spirit of entrepreneurship, I believe, is instilled in many of us. Each year when I return to campus for the Pro Perspectives panel, I meet so many radio, TV, film alumni who now own their own businesses. But most important thing that I learned is adapting to change, being adaptable. Change is inevitable, and technology advances much more rapidly than we ever could have imagined back in the late 1980s when Doc talked about this new technological development on the horizon called HD TV. So where would you be today if it were not for the radio, TV, film program? In order for this program to continue its legacy of excellence, the curriculum must evolve with time. I mean, let's face it, we can't teach audio editing with open reel audio tape, China markers, and razor blades anymore. Although I actually did do that 15 years ago at another university. Also, the facilities must be maintained and updated regularly. But most of all, we want to continue to create opportunities for students to get involved in radio, TV, film, and for them to get involved early. A few days ago, I visited the Radio TV Film Program's website, and I saw this exact example cited by many of the students who posted about their experiences. In fact, Kyle Cole spoke of how engaging and addictive the student organizations are, and added that the major does a stellar job at not neglecting freshmen or new involvement. For me, it's been extremely simple going from a confused freshman to a leader. I don't think many other majors can provide that experience. So one way to ensure that these awesome opportunities continue for our students is by offering your support in the Radio TV Film Excellence Fund, the Dr. Robert Snyder Scholarship, the Dr. Harris Lichty Scholarship, or establishing a scholarship. And inside your programs, there is a form that you can fill out for that. You see, alumni giving is very important in determining the future, the consistency, and the grand success of this program. Yesterday, while I was over at the AC, I saw the wall of photos of all of the alumni award winners of the Outstanding Young Alumni and Distinguished Alumni Award, and I think there were about 33. So I think that really, really speaks well for the program. And then also the showcase, or the display case with all of the awards by students. Alumni giving helps the next generation of media professionals. It keeps you connected to your professors, to the students, and to other alumni. But most of all, alumni giving is a great way to say thank you for all the Radio TV Film program has done to get you to where you are today. And don't forget, it's also tax deductible. As Radio TV Film major Kevin Cushing said on the website, we're a family that supports each other. So let's support and make a difference in giving back. You can give, again, a tax deductible donation. You can make a pledge. You can pay quarterly over time. The important thing is that every little bit matters and every little bit goes in making a difference. So make a difference. Giving back makes a difference in the program as they have to constantly evolve the curriculum to meet the current times and also maintain and upgrade the facilities. It makes a difference to the students. And also by giving back, students not only learn, but they develop their skills, and in the long run, they will make a difference in the industry, in their communities, and in this world. One of the leadership roles I had at UW Oshkosh was station manager at WRST. So right now, I would like to introduce the person who is currently the station manager, Radio TV Film senior, Michaela Higgins.
Thank you very much for that. It's so good to see all of you here. Thank you so much for coming. So I would like to start with telling you a story. I will never forget the first day I was introduced to the Radio TV Film program because my life was changed forever. No, it was not on the first day of classes, nor was it in the ANC building. It was on a Sunday night on the 10th floor in Gruenhagen when I met two strange and very nerdy boys in the corner, Kurt Rolfson and Sam Troes, who are now my best friends. As we watched TV that night, Kurt and Sam explained how each shot was put together in so much detail I couldn't help but be fascinated. I explained to them my love for television and performing as an actress, and they said, you know, you might have a knack for this. Maybe you should try Radio TV Film. And so it was settled. The next semester I joined RTF and immediately began my involvement in Titan TV and WRST. It was the happiest I had ever been in college, and finally, I had found my place at UW Oshkosh. I knew where I belonged, and I felt like I was part of a family. After speaking and listening with all of you this weekend, I feel like you feel this exact same way. Our program is truly a family, filled with people bonded over the love of radio, television, and film. RTF's success over the last 50 years is a true reflection of the cohesive dedication the RTF family has put in since day one. Thank you all for developing the radio TV program into something spectacular, filled with a true experience, excellence, and a lifetime of opportunities. I'd like to give a special thank you to Claire, Justine, and all the RTF faculty for putting this together, for Randall Davidson for being my true rock throughout my entire experience here, to the Snyders for being here. Irene, you look so beautiful. Thank you so much. Listen to 90.3 as we will play Jazz City. And to Kevin, I cannot wait to join you in Los Angeles in January. Thank you so much for all the hard work you're putting in. And thank you, everyone, for being here. I really appreciate it. With that, I would like to welcome Taylor Berglund to the stage.
Hey guys, so I'm Taylor Berglund. I'm a senior in the Radio TV Film Department, and this year I'm the president of Film Society on campus. So I wish I had like some really like heartfelt, moving like story of like self-discovery that I could show. But for me, really, I just started as like a very nerdy freshman early on, and I was like the worst kind. I didn't do anything my freshman year. I didn't get involved in like any organizations, which is my lasting regret because I started in sophomore year and I decided I was going to pitch something for Film Society. And then that went well, so I pitched another thing. And then I pitched another thing. And that just kept going, and somewhere along the line we made movies that were in like a rhyme scheme and things like that. So for me, RTF has been just a great developing experience because it's really taught me that like if I'm excited about something and if I'm passionate about it, there are other people who are passionate and excited about that too. And it kind of showed me that it's not unrealistic to try to do something and work in media and to get a job in that. Like this room is full of people who are doing just that, which is super encouraging. And so the program has developed my self-confidence and of course all of the technical skills. I've done literally every job you can do on set over the last 2 years in WRST, Film Society, Titan TV, just everything. My favorite WRST memory is that I was the most unlikely DJ of the urban block. That was a Randall call, which good choice, Randall. Hip hop with Taylor. So yeah. And already it's been paying off. I was able to get an internship over the summer with PBS in DC. And now I'm hoping to get a job once I graduate this year. So ideally in script writing, because I hear that is a booming industry with many jobs that's easy to get into. But really anything in media, because I've done it all, I love it all, and your guys' support of the program and all of us here means the world to us. RTF is great just because I'm able to have all these experiences and stories to tell of all the things that I've done in the program. So thank you very much. And for as much as I've done, there is someone who has done way more than me, who gives in so many hours every week, and she is up to talk next. Your station manager of Titan TV, Justine Braun.
Adam, you weren't wrong. I definitely need an apple box. I'm a little too short for this. Thank you, Taylor. I appreciate the very kind introduction. Holy cow. As he mentioned, I'm Justine Braun. I am a senior this year, and I'm the Titan TV station manager. And I'm very lucky. This week, the last 2 days, I guess, I've slept about 7 hours, maybe. And in the last 2 days, I helped finish that wonderful video that we got to see. It was great, right? I was very excited. I got to anchor the pregame show for the football game today. I helped with a live newscast from Reeve, which was an undertaking, but it was awesome. And I produced the football game today. I'm very lucky. I have these opportunities that many people don't. And I'm standing here tonight in front of all of you, really tired and ready for bed. But I wouldn't change a thing. Because for me, RTF isn't about the newscasts that bomb sometimes, or the shows that win awards, or, I'm sorry, professors, but even for the tests I probably didn't have time to study for. I know. For me, RTF is that moment when it's 3 in the morning and I'm still at the AC and we're still producing content, and that third cup of coffee is kind of wearing off and I'm ready to go to bed, but instead, we just turn up some music and smile and keep going because we get to do this. We get to produce radio and television and film and learn these real world skills now. And, you know, we get to do this as our real jobs one day, which is incredible, and all of you get to do. So no matter how tired I am, kind of like right now, I remember that I get to make TV with some of my best friends and many people in this room. And I'm sure that, I'm not the only one. Everyone in this room probably spent an incredibly long night or two at the AC or on campus. Probably much longer than we should have, but that's okay. RTF teaches us hands-on quality skills and continues to carry out the legacy that Doc Snyder created. But for me, RTF is about the little moments and the small victories. And those are the things that I'll remember. And I'm sure those are some of your best memories too. At this time, we're honored to welcome Dr. Andrew to the podium. Dr. Levitt will be joining the UW-Oshkosh campus on November 1st as the 11th Chancellor of the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh. Dr. Levitt received his bachelor's degree in chemistry with minors in physics and mathematics from the University of Arizona. He earned a PhD in chemistry from the University of Utah in Salt Lake City. Dr. Levitt comes to UW-Oshkosh from the University of North Georgia, where he served as Vice President for University Advancement and Chief Executive Officer of the University of North Georgia Foundation, Incorporated. Before moving to the University of North Georgia, Dr. Levitt served in several roles at the University of West Georgia, including as a professor of chemistry. He culminated his service there as the Associate Vice President for Development and Alumni Relations and Executive Director of the University of West Georgia Foundation. While on the chemistry faculty at the University of West Georgia, Dr. Levitt earned 3 university-wide teaching awards and the Excellence in Undergraduate Chemical Research Award from the Department of Chemistry at Indiana University. We offer a very special welcome to his wife, Karen Levitt, who was also able to join us tonight. So thank you, Chancellor Levitt, as you share a few words with us tonight.
Thank you all so much for inviting Karen and I to the event this evening. We've been on the campus now exactly 7 hours. And it has just been a very overwhelming day for us and meeting just an incredible community of scholars, students, and alumni, with the football game and everything else that we're doing throughout the day. I really need to start first to tell you that I do have a film credit. I think everybody has a film credit at some point, but in 1984, I was a paid extra on Revenge of the Nerds. And that was, thank you. They didn't even need to send me the wardrobe. I just wore it right there. So, but that was, it was a pretty interesting process to see happen. Well, first, like I say, I'm honored to be here, a part of this incredible celebration of the tremendous legacy of Dr. and Mrs. Snyder. And of course, I've only been here 7 hours learning about this. And of course, after that video and these testimonials and the wonderful students, I am certainly humbled by the incredible learning and opportunities that the students throughout the years have had at this institution. And of course, that's one of the great things that attracted me to Oshkosh, is this incredible group of people here, this family. There's real love in this room for one another, as well as this, the students that the great students we heard tonight that we are going to be sending forth out into these very, very interesting careers. So my hat's off also to Kevin and Aaron for their extraordinary contribution for setting up the next generation of people in the industry. And that was a hell of an ask, Treva. Thank you. That was very well done, and I certainly echo that we are in public higher education. As you know, that the state support continues to be a challenge for public higher education, and that gap needs to be covered by our friends and our alumni to really give this next generation a fantastic opportunity. Internships are the future in all fields. It doesn't have to be just in this field, but all fields. To properly launch students into whatever's next in their careers, they have to have real experiences, and of course, this organization is on the vanguard of doing that. So Karen and I say thank you for the invitation, and congratulations on 50 wonderful years, and I'm sure 50 more. So good evening.
I must say, I think it speaks volumes that Dr. Lovett and Aaron have made an effort to be with us tonight. So thank you very much. We look forward to your leadership. My name is Justine Gantner, and I have the privilege of serving as Director of Alumni Relations here. I've been here over a decade, and I am thrilled to be part of this evening. What a spectacular finale to a wonderful homecoming weekend. We are so delighted that you're here in your beautiful new Alumni Welcome Center. Thank you all for being here. It's, like I said, been an honor for me to be a part of this fantastic evening. And I, too, congratulate you all on being part of such a phenomenal program that was started by Doc Schneider. And I think he laid a fabulous foundation. I would be so proud of what together all of you have built. So again, congratulations, and again, on to 50 more fabulous years. Hearing from some of our students tonight, my goodness, you're well on your way. Congratulations to each of you. And I think one of the neatest things we get to do in alumni relations is honor some of our wonderful alums, and we had that privilege last evening. We honored 10 extraordinary UW-Oshkosh alumni, and it just so happens that 3 of them have the radio, TV, film background, and I would just like to acknowledge them here this evening. And I'd ask them to stand and be recognized as I call their name. First is Brad Carr. Brad received the Outstanding Young Alumni Award last night, and joining him with that OYA Award, Outstanding Young Alumni, Luke Kelto. We also were honored to present Chris Braun with the Distinguished Alumni Award. Chris. Congratulations to each of you. And as Trevi mentioned, we have had a number of alums in radio, television, and film receive these awards. And we have a number of them in the room here this evening. I'm going to call your name and ask you to stand. And if you hold your applause to the end. And I'm going to apologize in advance if I miss anyone, because there's so many of you. And if I do, please call me out on it and stand and be recognized. Gwen Kelly. Gwen received the Distinguished Alumni Award in 2010. Deb Nelson received the Outstanding Young Alumni Award in 2006. Sheila Doucet is here and received the Outstanding Young Alumni Award in 2000. Dr. Trevi McDonald, the 1997 Outstanding Young Alumni Award, and then in 2008, the Distinguished Alumni Award. Kevin Warenberg. Kevin received the Outstanding Young Alumni Award in 2002. David Foreman, Distinguished Alumni Award in 1999. And Mark Krueger, the 1999 Distinguished Young Alumni Award, 1999. Is there anyone in the room I missed? Please stand. Ralph Berge. Ralph Berge here from LA. Ralph, congratulations to you. Congratulations to all of you. That just speaks volume. And there's so many more of you in this room that are deserving, and it takes a nomination. So more good awards to come for all of you. So again, I want to thank you for choosing to come back to your alma mater. I'm telling you, radio, TV, film alums are some of the most passionate and committed alums I've had the privilege of meeting. And you support one another and support our students and support your alma mater. And for that, I am grateful. I invite you to stay on now this evening and enjoy reminiscing and company and visiting. And but before you enjoy that, we'd like to call you forward. All the alumni, faculty, staff, and students come forward. We're going to attempt to take a group picture. So.